What is up, ladies and gentlemen of the interweb? What is up, ladies and gentlemen of the interweb? Today, we're talking about the Metal Gear Solid 5 remake, which was just leaked by Reset Era. So, this leak is a very big one, and I believe it's true because it's been in the background for a very, very long time. So, as you guys know, there are two things that are true in this world. One, the sky is blue, and two, X-Men and Metal Gear Solid will always be trash if David Hayter is not in charge. And we saw that with the new X-Men films, and we are seeing it with Metal Gear Solid 5 and every Metal Gear that came afterwards. Hideo Kojima is not a good game developer. He needs people to do everything for him. As we're seeing with Death Stranding, Guillermo del Toro and Norman Reedus are doing everything. Literally everything. Metal Gear Solid 5 failed because Hideo Kojima had to do it himself. So with this remake, there's actually some very big changes that are coming. One, the most important one, is that Kiefer Sutherland is no longer Big Boss. Kiefer Sutherland is no longer Snake. Richard Doyle is Snake. Richard Doyle is back in charge. He is, I don't even know what to say, but it's gonna be amazing to see Richard Doyle back in charge. You may be wondering who Richard Doyle is. Richard Doyle played Big Boss in Metal Gear Solid 4, which was very good because you had a separation between David Hayter and Big Boss. So that is quite cool in and of itself. But there's some other odd and ends being remade that I think is just completely out of the ordinary for a remake from Konami. One, there's actually a remake happening, and two, they're changing everything. They want to get everything Hideo Kojima off of the game, which is understandable. The fans, all of us understand Hideo Kojima really almost destroyed that game completely. If it wasn't having cool gameplay, the game would have been, it would have been bad. It would have been bad. Worse than it already is if Hideo Kojima had done what he actually wanted. But anyways, it's being dubbed Metal Gear Solid 5 Demon Edition. The story is completely remade. Ground Zeroes is now serving as an actual in-game thing. And on top of that, you're going to see more cutscenes, about 3 hours more cutscenes. And the game is being restructured, which means there's not going to be any more of that 12 missions and then repeat every single thing over and over on harder difficulties. That is not going to be a thing this time. That is 100% not a thing this time, according to these leaks so far. What the story is going to be, or the gameplay structure, it's going to be more Metal Gear Solid like, which is going to be significantly better. This is going to be a significantly higher rated Metal Gear Solid. It's going to win back the fans, which is partially why they're remaking this apparently. They want to re-win the Western audience after the failure of Metal Gear Solid 5 and Metal Gear Survive. They want to bring it back so that next generation we can get a solid Metal Gear Solid 6, hopefully with David Hayter, because if David Hayter is going to be in it, then we're going to have the superior Metal Gear game. We are going to have the superior everything, especially if David Hayter has full control. The people making this game are Metal Gear Solid veterans, which those of you who may not know this, Hideo Kojima was not all that important to Metal Gear Solid. He was just a director, which means he sat in his office and twiddled his thumbs all day while everyone else made the game. So this is going to be the Metal Gear Solid we deserved. I'm also going to read a couple things out real quick that it's changing. I will have it flash it if you want to read it all on your own. Quiet has been reworked. There are going to be two Quiets. She's now going to die in the hospital. The hospital escape is going to be much more horrific and demonic. Boss is going to have hallucinations that the staff are undead horrors, which is going to be quite cool. There's going to be a new buddy system. The only character that's going to stay the same are Kaz and Huey, and it seems that Code Talker has been cut out. This was shown on Friday to the press, the video game press. This is going to be released on PC, Xbox One, and PS4, which means you're going to want to get an Xbox One X to play this in its best format. And it's coming to the Nintendo Switch as the vanilla Phantom Pain port, which, I mean, we probably all figured that anyways because it runs on Xbox 360 and PlayStation 3. Of course it's coming to the Nintendo Switch at some point. As I said, this is intended to stomp out Kojima's vision of the series. Snake and Kaz are saved by the last minute by a gunship on the thing while they retreat with Chico in tow. The trailer ends with Boss losing consciousness as he's being dragged into a helicopter. The story is completely changed and has approximately 3 hours of completely new cutscenes. And a lot of the old ones have been edited to be much better. The Japanese cast is the same for the most part, but the English has been completely redubbed. Big Boss is being voiced by Richard Doyle, who is his Metal Gear Solid voice actor. Kiefer Sutherland is still in the game, unfortunately, voicing Ishmael and the Medic. But that is okay, because we're not going to have to listen to him past like the first 2 hours of the game. So that is beautiful. Like I said, Ground Zeroes is fully integrated. One such example is a revamp intro in which it depicts Morpho's crash at the end of Ground Zeroes, in which you have limited control of the boss crawling through the wreckage and watching the XOF kill team lead by Skullface. A bunch of survivors, which is in the... One such example is a revamped intro in which it depicts Morpho's crash at the Ground Zeroes, in which you have limited control of Big Boss crawling through the wreckage and watching an XOF team led by Skullface killing a bunch of survivors, which is in the trailer in its entirety. So there's a lot of things changing, and there's a lot of things to be excited about with this new Metal Gear Solid 5 remake. I've always been a very big Metal Gear Solid fan. My entire life. If you follow me on Twitter, you know back in November, I finally finished Metal Gear Solid 3 for the 100th time. Since then, I have completed it 7 more times. Because that game is just like, it's so short. It's like a 5-hour game. If you have nothing to do, just open it on your Nintendo 3DS and play it. For those of you guys who don't know, the Nintendo 3DS version is actually the superior version to play. Because it's the only one that has like HD graphics and all that. It's the only one that wasn't a straight PS2 port. It was kind of remade from the ground up for the 3DS, so it's quite an interesting play. Now that we know this is happening, I haven't played all the way through Metal Gear Solid 4 in a very, very long time. The last time I played through it was 2016. Beat it on the hardest difficulty for the first time, and the only time I'm doing that. I started a new game on very, very easy, and I haven't finished that yet. But I think today I'm going to finish that. Why did I do it on very, very easy? Because after you go through the hardest difficulty, you never want to go through a hard difficulty ever again for that game. So, I think I'm going to go enjoy some Metal Gear Solid 4. And you, have a very, very nice day. Also, try not to die. That'd be quite unfortunate. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.